I'm gonna say this real quick, and people ain't gotta agree with me. People can sit on the internet and try to drag me. I do not care, but I'm gonna die on a hill on this one. So guess what? Rest in peace to that woman. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's another video circulating right now of a black woman and her son being harassed inside of a movie theater by one of them. Okay, and to the point where that lady got physical with that black woman. And hear me when I say this. Hear me when I say this. Whether I don't know if that woman got a man or not. But with everything that's going on right now, I'm really starting to realize the value of having a man in the house. I'm really starting to realize that. I'm really starting to realize the value of what it is to have a man for protection. Really starting to realize the
Shalom. First off, let me start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. That's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, peace and mercy to the hopeful like preaching his word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah, the great millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And, you know, you need Bane to comment on this, man, right? You go back and watch that The Dark Knight Rises. And when Bane shut down the city, you know, he said, you will be cast out on the streets onto this cold world, which we have known, right? That same thing is going to happen in Babylon the Great. And these women are starting to see it. But this is where the value of true men start really going up, because now you even got in the world ass niggas labeling and identifying the poor behavior of these women as to reasons why they're not gonna simp, why they're not gonna be there for their help. I mean, Sauce Walker had a fire ass freestyle. And he's been making certain comments on how the so-called black woman is. And really, that extends to all the tribes. The black woman is a chief, so she does some of the worst shit. But really, all the tribes' women are messed up. And we're coming down in a time where things are about to be hellish on this earth. And you women are starting to realize that the deal that you had with Esau ain't what it's cracked up to be. Because the times we coming in, a man is valuable. Right? And that's what I wanted to go into, man. So Lord will, this all be edifying. This is 2nd Ezra 16. And 32 probably. 33 it says, I gotta start at 31. It says, even so in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Talking about it in time of Jacob's trouble. It says, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and her paths shall go full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. Right? And what is that detailing? A time where the cities are locked down. There's nobody going to be tending to keeping up the foliage on the side of the roads. Everything's just going to grow wild. And that is a scene from every post-apocalyptic movie, every movie where it shows that society is broken down. The streets are no longer taken care of. This is painting an image for you. It says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Right? The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And that's what that woman was talking about. She's starting to realize the value of having a man in the house. There was always value in having a man in the house. Because you women are defenseless. A man provides defense, structure. Provision is the last thing that a man has to provide. Because that's something that just happens. Is if you have the means, you do it. But you women have boiled down a man to whether or not he can just give you goodies. And that's not what a fucking man was for. That is not a man's sole purpose. Right? It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So these are the times now. And it's all intensifying, and these women see it. Second Ezra 15 and 16. 15, it says, 14, I'm going to say, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And this is when you women are really going to be desperate for a man. When in the middle of the night you hear a thump. In the middle of the night you hear a thump. And it's somebody trying to get in and bust down your door just to see what's in the fridge. And if the fridge ain't good, and you are, he wants your cookies. There should be sedition among men and invading one another. And that's when the times get real. When you hear that hello, I'm home, and it's a voice you don't recognize, that's gonna be terrifying. And that's what a man is there for. It says you got to bind the strong man first. Well, these women don't even have a strong man in it. They just prostrate themselves as being alpha female with no test of time to show themselves to be any alpha. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now, 2020, right? What was it? 2020, 2021. All these women were locked in their houses, right? With these men, and these niggas, because these women still didn't correct themselves, these niggas were knocking their heads off their shoulders, and domestic violence shot up. Imagine when there's no more police. When people make it their job to say what's right and wrong, it's gonna be terrible. Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. I might have to start up on this. Nah, that's good. So the Lord is going to make a man more precious than fine gold, and you having substance and everything like that, it ain't going to be precious to you, because you're going to have no way to protect that substance. There's nothing good. You women, you don't realize it, man. These women that go on these humanitarian missions to these third world countries, they're terrified if one of them rebel forces come and bust down that camp, because they know what's going to happen. They know what happens to women in those countries, in those situations. They will be forcibly taken and or killed all at once. And they understand that. But you women have been at ease. You've lived deliciously. Right? But the Lord is going to show this world again. Nah. A real man, that's what's really valuable. And a real man, according to the scriptures, is 1 Kings 2 and 2. It says, I go the way of all the earth. Right? This King David talking to Solomon. Read the first verse. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. This is the definition of man. A man keeps the charge, says, keep the charge of Yahweh thy power, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turn thyself. That's what it is. So a real man in these scriptures, that's going to be the chief possession in this earth. Right? Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, meaning a full-on defense. When those times of troubles hit, a real man, right, according to the Lord, that's going to be precious, man. That's going to be precious. That's when the Lord shows, because when you read Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, building into the 4th chapter, it tells you the dire straits that women are going to be in, man. Isaiah 3:24, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, instead of a well-set hair, baldness, instead of a stomacher, girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of a beauty, talking about the curse that the Lord put on our women. It says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit on the ground. That's an entirely perplexing situation. You lose everything. Your support system is gone. Now in the 4th chapter, it tells you what mindset it brings in being in a situation like that. Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day, 7 women, and 7 is just a number of completion, shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. And what are women now? Women expect you to cash app them. The first communication. So right now, they're telling you to give. But in that day, these women are going to be giving all. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see? It's going to be such a dire strait that they're going to go from the selfish nature to just being all about you. But this is a time that's getting geared up, and these women see it. They feel it. But Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say, call law Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Wakal Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles. Shalom.